Marketo, there are four main types of programs that you can use inside of your marketing automation instance. And inside of each of those programs, you can develop them in a myriad of different ways. My name's Michael Tucker, founder of the Conversion Store. And over the last 6 years, we've worked in all sorts of different Marketo instances that have been constructed in very unique ways. They're not necessarily wrong, they're not necessarily right, they're just different. And so, one of the challenges that we find, you probably find as well too, when you're in your Marketo instance, is what does this specific program do for your marketing automation? And so if you're going in and you're trying to diagnose it, you might be looking through folders and subfolders and all sorts of different types of smart campaigns. And sometimes you'll see that you have local design studio assets. Sometimes you'll see global design studio assets. Sometimes you'll see people that are saved to local folders or to regular lists. Sometimes you'll see people saved to smart lists. The number of choices goes on and on and on. And so today's Marketo Minutes episode is showing you a view that we often use when we're going into a program to try and figure out what's happening and to quickly get to the anatomy of that program to really go in and diagnose what's happening and try and make some recommendations to be able to help improve some of the marketing automation that might be happening inside of that specific corner of Marketo. Let's dive into the instance and we'll take a look at what we're talking about here. So in today's session, we're going back to our parking lot party event program that we've been talking about in the last couple of Marketo Minutes episodes. And so here you'll see we have two different types of programs, an engagement program and an event program. Let's open up the event program right now and you can see some of the different types of assets that we've created inside of this one. And you can see that there is a lot of different folders that are here. There's a nested event that's inside of that this particular event itself that talks about the actual concert itself. And if you want more information about the event itself, the parking lot party, and what that's all about, then you can take a look at our recording that actually covers that in our Marketo user group from about a year and a half ago, I'd say. But inside of here, we have campaigns that talk about the progressions for different guests, the way that we handle social media registrations, the way that we're handling different types of assets, landing pages for the actual to attend the concert itself, a thank you page. We have lists that keep track of a guest list. We have a separate folder that handles media credentials for local radio and television stations that are covering the event. The list goes on and on and on. It can get really complicated. But if you step back from all of this and you look at all of the different mouse clicks that you have to take to be able to find all the anatomy inside of this one program, an easier way to look at this is to look at the Assets tab that's inside of this event program. And in this view, what you are seeing is a column for each of the smart campaigns that exist within the program and all of the different assets that are tied to that, whether that's a form or a landing page or an email or a list. And below down here you see a list of unused assets. And it doesn't mean that they're not used by the program at all. You're really looking at your program from the view of what is happening in the smart campaigns that are really, if you think about it like a sentence, the smart campaigns are really the verb in the sentence that sort of are driving people through different parts of different actions that program is trying to take people through. So what is happening to somebody who is invited to this concert? What is happening to somebody who registered to this concert? What is happening for somebody who filled out a Facebook registration form that on Facebook itself, or a LinkedIn registration form? And these are ordered, by the way, you can change the order of them by just dragging and dropping them and moving them to different areas inside of your Marketo instance. So just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be ordered in the way that you see it when you first walk in. And the other thing that's really neat to see here is that all of these assets and all of these smart campaigns you can actually edit them by right clicking on them. So if I want to see the criteria for the invited area, you can see the assets that are filled out here from a LinkedIn form, but you can actually go and right click on this and you get all of the same choices that you would have if you were right clicking anywhere inside of the tree view. So I can go view smart lists and it'll take you immediately. You see there are no smart lists in this. This is a sandbox and a sample, but you can see there are no smart list filters inside of this program or the smart campaign. I can easily right click on the program itself and go back to view assets. And then I can go in and let's say that I wanted to see something more detailed, like if you are checked in or checked out. We have built this program to have some social distancing elements to it for the COVID pandemic to say kind of, let's keep track of everybody who checks in and checks out of this event so that we have a tally for the actual capacity that we have inside of the concert venue. And so we'll actually have flow steps here that will show that we're adding somebody to a list, to a guest list, and we will have an area where they are removed from being checked out of the list. So if people are coming and going from the event, we're always keeping a tally to try and keep an accurate count of what our current capacity and our current attendance is like inside of the concert venue. As I go back to the view assets area, you can see a lot of my assets that are not tied in directly, but the point is that you have the ability to view local assets and edit them directly from this page. So I don't have to scroll down and figure out, okay, where are the register page or the thank you page inside of this program? I can see that it's inside of assets and inside of landing pages because I've already expanded that out. But that can be a lot of work to be able to try and figure out which folder are the assets that I want to be able to use. And so one of the things that you have the ability to do here is also right click or you can just click on it, left click on it, and it'll take you directly to the page itself. So you can see exactly what's going on with this page, and if you want to be able to edit it, you can edit it from here, but without having to click to the asset itself, I can still do the exact same thing from the assets view. It's sort of one of those seldom talked about and highly valuable views inside of your Marketo instance to be able to check. And you can see inside of here as well that I have a series of different nested email programs and nested event programs that I use here. Now this view, this assets view, this is available not just inside of the event programs, but I can also pull up this view in any default program. So if I go to a default program, I can see view assets here. And so these two programs make use out of this view. The other two programs that don't have an assets view are email programs and engagement programs. So let's just take a look at those for a second and see, in lieu of email programs, if I click on an email program, I do not have a view assets area, but I do have this control panel view that allows me to be able to pick different emails that are inside of this program, and I can go ahead and actually select those. So I need one that has an email that's active, that's actually incorporated in. But once you have that in place, you can actually right click just like you would inside of assets view to be able to see this one email. And the reason why it's so limited is because an email program by design is only designed to be able to send out one email on a one-time basis. So you don't need multiple assets because you're really just doing one send. And after you do the send, you'll wind up moving from control panel view to dashboard view. And this one's empty because this email program hasn't been sent or launched. Now the other view to kind of keep in mind here, the other program type that does not have a view assets area is an engagement program. But an engagement program has streams view, which in a lot of ways is kind of like the email in view assets view, in the sense that you are seeing all of the different types of assets. So in this particular case, again for the parking lot party, We have a nurture program here that is built off of segmentation, that is basically guiding people who are visitors through a different set of activities inside of the concert based on the behavioral and the demographic segmentations that we know about them. Are they off-road enthusiasts? Are they suburban families? Are they corporate fleet managers? Or are they media analysts that are there to cover the event? And you'll see inside of each of these, we have some nested event programs that are launching people through different parts of this event. But inside of each of those programs, these can be emails as well. But you also have, similar to the View Assets area, the ability to be able to right click on all of those different options and go into each of the views of those programs. So if I wanted to view assets off the boat trail event, then I can just right click, say view assets, and then I go directly to this program. And I can see, without having to do any digging into this program, that there are 5 different deactivated triggered smart campaigns, and it looks like there's a sixth one here, and there's a little bit of a rendering problem in this specific Marketo instance. So not a problem, but again, this normally would allow you to be able to go in and you can right click on these, and this gives you one unified view, one view to unite them all, if you will. That gives you the ability to quickly see all of the different assets, all of the different actions that are happening inside of a Marketo program, and be able to drill into each of these in the fewest amount of mouse clicks possible.